Marriage Show with Regina Dorcas. Whatever it takes, you can fix it.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Spice the Marriage Show. My name is Regina Dorcas. Today on the topic, we're still talking domestic violence, which has become an epidemic in our society. We'll be talking to the Deputy Commandant General in charge of Crisis Management Directorate of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, in the person of Dr. E.A Adeoye. But we will meet him after the break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Like I said, we'll be discussing domestic violence, and we are talking to the Deputy Commandant in charge of crisis in Nigerian Security and Civil Service Corps. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Same here, sir. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Well, top of the situation here.
Okay, and you're doing best. Okay, sir. All right, so our topic says today domestic violence. Actually, this is Spice the Marriage Show. We talk relationship and marriage, and over time we've recorded a lot of domestic violence, which, like I said before, has become an epidemic in our society. And we know the Peace Corps, we know the Civil Defense Corps has really done a lot about crisis in case of domestic violence and other. We want you to really tell us, what have you done so far? How have you been able to manage domestic violence and other crises that have come to your table?
Well, so far so good. As an agency, we have been proactive in curtailing or minimizing the occurrence of domestic violence. For us to understand essentially what domestic violence entails, you need to understand violence itself.
Yeah.
What that has not been domesticated. Violence, in a very paraphrased manner, could be described as an action or behavior that is unleashed on the recipient or the victim for the purpose of intimidating, to ensure that the victim succumbs to the wills and purposes of the person that has acted such. Let me break it down.
Okay.
You may do that by way of action, that is physical injury. Do that by way of your body language to the recipient of your behavior, or may boil down to domestic violence.
Yeah.
And that violence is not the one you see on the highway and the one in the northeast that you have known as Boko Haram. It's a kind of violence too. But now we're talking about domestic violence, the one that happens within the confine of habitation. Yeah. That one is suppose that we have the husband, the wife, children, and other dependents or other relations. Now, this is a multifaceted aspect. Over the years, it has been seen that men alone do violate their wives. But we have seen that women do also violate their husbands too, and also fathers and mothers do violate their children. Let me leave it to that level so that we will not take much of your time. You see, we have physical violence, psychological violence, sexual violence, emotional violence. All these ones, if there is time, I will explain
how it
one by one
happens. Okay.
But the essential is that the one that is violating somebody is there to make the listener or the recipient of that action to succumb to his intention. That's the bottom line.
Okay, sir. Have you people recorded cases? Have people been coming to complain about
yes
cases?
Look, let me give you the structure of our organization.
Okay.
I'm here in Abuja, the DCG Crisis Management Directorate, Civil Defense Headquarters. We have our zone offices, we have the state offices, and local government offices. In all at each level, we have a department called Peace and Conflict Management that have been trained and are still undergoing training to handle both the classical conflicts and domestic violence, which are an integral part of general violence. Wow. And we go for seminars, and we have intervened in various forms of violence. We have, for last year alone, we have about 14,000 recorded cases where we intervene and resolve the crisis. We have some between the father and the children, some between the mother and the children, some between the husband and the wife. Now, Let me step into some arena in terms of the conflict between the husband and the wife. Some of these ones, they do not want to tell the imam in the mosque or the pastor in the church because they feel it's a secret here. Number one thing that I've observed that sex is a very potent factor that have precipitated domestic violence.
Okay.
We have seen when men want to have fun with their wives, the wife make complaint of being overworked, being tired, and all whatnot, and there will be a dichotomy on the bed. The wife be facing the wall, the man will be itching to have the normal food. I'm not talking about physical food, emotional food now, and that will be the beginning of a violence. Sometimes ago, I personally approached in my outfit somewhere when the woman came to me with bruises on her face and complained to me. That's about 15 years ago. Mother, what happened? She was initially reluctant to tell me. Later, she opened up because I persuaded her to open up to me. That her husband beat her because she was telling the husband that she could not endure sex with the man. The man persuaded her and she went to be persuaded. And the next thing, the man was to give her a little panabiti, which was not the best. But the man was trying to ventilate his anger for the woman, which was not a coordinated one. And women also, they may want to deny the husband because of the behavior. He didn't have enough money, or the way he behaved before he left today was not the desirable one. They may deny him food when he comes back. They may deny him greeting when he comes back. There's a saying that welcome sir is a part of a voluntary relieving method on the part of the wife to the husband. At times, a complete abstinence from greeting is a violence. The man went out this morning, he's coming back, you don't look at him and do just snubbing, eye contact method. All those ones can culminate in domestic violence from the woman to the man. And men are often accused, or not accused, are often found wanting in terms of physical beating to their wife because they are more muscular, they are more energetic. But the other one that the women do too that you will not notice because they are not as energetic as man, they may deny you sex, deny you greeting, deny you embracement, deny you a lot of things. It's a violence. Because as the man in the house, the chairman of that house, the woman is the vice chairman according to a local classification. If you deny your husband a welcome disposition, it's a violence. Deny the sex, deny the food, deny that kind of essential thing that you only take place between the wife and the husband. It's a violence. And again, between the wife and between parents and the children, you bully your children unduly. It's not allowed. Instead of talking a gentle no, what's wrong with you? Or the lady or the child will be scared and he will withdraw. That will lead to depression.
Okay, sir. You said you have different organizations, different offices that manage all this crisis. But so far, what measures have you people put together to help manage all these little crises that comes around? What
we do as a routine, every state command and every state department of peace and conflict must remit to me the outcome of their seminar or workshop they have conducted every 4 months in the state. And what they do what we call community town hall meeting. Okay. And when we notice that the growth in the community in the violence within the family or domestic area is becoming a little bit unacceptable, they repeat that thing frequently to bring them to focus, bring the family members, the children, the teenager, the adult, and the parents to a forum of this thing. I'm telling you, we'll tell them what are the causes, what are the implications, what are the dangers, and what are the ways forward to ensure that these things are not allowed to go unabated. And many of them have confessed that they have been blessed with their activities. This is a way of making peace at the grassroots level. We don't allow them to get to a level, get escalated to a level of violence. But by the time we nip in the bud at that primary stage level, then you see a kind of overt peace.
But in a case where you already have violence going on in that particular or in a particular home, yes, how do you manage it?
Good. Like the case I told you about, when you notice that there's a particular kind of violence here, we bring the two parties or more multi-party systems that are involved. We now get them cancelled. We educate them, we alert them, and we tell them the essentials that we do and what they should not do, so as to prevent further recurrence. Like the case I cited, that's based on sex. We call the woman first. We address the matter. We cancel her separately. We call the man separately. Later we call the two of them together. Having known their disposition, we now took a center stage of trying to say we have a win-win reconciliation method. But then you blame the woman and make the man to be the one that is right, or blame the man. You are going to complicate the problem. We normally adopt what we call win-win outcome in peace and conflict management, and
okay,
everybody have a way home.
Okay, sir, with the way you're sounding, it's like you're really engrossed with this domestic violence thing. Yes. Have you experienced anything like domestic violence while growing up in the course of your life? Yes.
Oh, as a person?
Yes.
Yes. Every African, every Nigerian must have gone through this. And let these modern people like you and the other one who are now enjoying the modern day knowledge.
So would you want to talk about it as in depth? Would you want to talk about it?
No, I wouldn't mind to say it because...
Okay, so we are going to go on break. We'll be going on break, and when we come back, we'll really talk about our orgasm, what he has gone through in his own time while he was growing up. We will be having a peace domestic violence peace walk on Saturday, on the 30th, which is this Saturday. And if you want to partake, please call any of the numbers scrolling on your screen. Please come out and let us say no to domestic violence. It's really causing problems in our society. It's 30th this month, Saturday, 7 a.m. from City Park. We'll be going on a short break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. If you have any question or any contribution on this topic, please feel free to send us a text on any of the numbers scrolling on your screen, or follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't forget to keep a date with us, 7 a.m. this Saturday on our Domestic Violence Peace Walk. All right, before we went on break, we were talking to the Deputy Commandant General in charge of Crisis and Management Directorate. He's been talking to us about domestic violence and how to manage it. But so far, so good. He's gone through a little bit of it. Let's hear from him what he has to say and how he managed his own domestic crisis when it came. So you're welcome to the program.
Well, I want to make a point of pressure. I'm not telling you that I'm managing my own domestic violence.
No. I did not say. I said how you managed it.
Okay.
That's what I said.
I remember some years back in the late 70s or late 60s. I was in primary school. I was born to a literary family who are farmers. After the school, you have to go back to the farm to help them fetch firewood or yam or whatever. So that day, I remember I refused to go to farm. After school, I was playing football. My parents expected me in the farm. They didn't see me. When they came in the evening, they asked me where I was. I told them I was on the field playing. They told me that I would go to eat that day. I would eat that football in the night. So when the night came, they didn't give me food. I made effort to appeal to my mother. My mother frowned. My father did not give me chance, so I slept hungry that night, which did not go down well with me. I felt I was violated. I couldn't do anything about it. When I became stranded, I had to obey their instructions. Against my own wish, I had to bend down because there was no other way I could get food than to go back to my mom. The following day now, my mother spanked me and gave me a knock on my head and later told me I would not do it again. So they gave me the breakfast. That's the first episode. Another one like that. For the same thing, I left school instead of me going to the farm, and I refused to go. My father was told that I failed to go and feed the yam and tell to use it in the house. So when my mother told my father in the night around 10, he came late that day. So around 11, I've already slept on the mat, not bed. That time there was no bed for me. I slept on the mat. I was strapped naked. My father just came in. I held my hand like this with one hand. I don't know whether you are getting me. He held my hand like this off the mat. My leg was flinging in the air. He took me to open space. He carried one koboko that he had hidden. He wiped koboko naked. All my skin were full of bruises. I shouted and yelled. Mother being who they are very caring, knew that the level of that punishment was too much for my error or misdemeanor. She ran out to rescue from my father's hand, and I felt that I was being cheated. I had no other option than to abide. So I complied with them, and I felt that I would not do that to my children and my wife. So that was my experience in terms of domestic violence on the part of my parents when I was growing up.
Okay, and what would you say to the people that are doing the same thing that you did that time?
I will appeal to both the children and the parents. For my not going to the farm, I was disobedient on my part. or carried away by peer pressure. But the youth of today, teenager or the youth, please do your best to make your parents happy. As long as what they're telling you is in line with the law of the land. And parents, don't think because you provide them economic factors like food, money, and co, will not make them forcefully to obey you because of will and caprices. Let there be a leverage, let there be a kind of shifting. You shift from your extreme end, the church will shift your head and to the corpus. Nobody has it all. A woman has what the man needs, and the man has what the woman needs. Therefore, there must be compromises. Nobody should claim totalitarian position on anything you are gifted or endowed with. That's my position. To make peace, make sure you don't assume monopoly of that thing that God has endowed you with.
Okay.
When you get to a conflict situation, you sort out who are the stakeholders. The man is there, the first one, the second one. When you now identify the stakeholders, you know whether there are other parties there or not. You call them shadow parties or the top parties. You now find out by way of narratives. You tell me your story. You tell me your story. From there, we now mirror what are the role, what should be the role of the father, the husband. What are the roles of those who are wives? You give me a case of polygamy now. For them to agitate for divorce or for quarrel, something must have been triggered that caused that conflict. That's what we target first. Let me give a scenario. A man with two wives. There was a case that the one where a lady reported the case that the man preferred the other one. He goes to bed with that one more frequently than the other one. The husband complained that this one knows how to cook more than the other one, and the one knows how to dress and make herself acceptable and appealing to him than the other. We have seen all these cases, but in the overall statement, what we need to do is that we look for the cause or the causes of the conflict and get them removed. If you cannot get them removed by a kind of a surgical removal, we cancel them on behavioral pattern to change so as to make sure that that cause of conflict is no longer there. Okay. I have a lot of cases, but I don't want to bog you down.
Okay, sir. Now, let us go a little bit to what has happened in recent times in terms of the elections and all that.
Okay.
We have a lot of boys on the streets.
Yeah.
We have a lot of male outside there that are lights out outside.
Yes.
That are causing havoc outside.
Yes.
Is there any measure, anything that you people are doing in terms of helping these boys outside there? Because for me, I think, just like I said before, a lot of things have been, all the advocacy programs are just being focused on the women. In your commission, can you people do anything to look at those men outside, those boys outside that today have become adults that are doing all that cause all this wahala on this election thing that has happened?
You see, you are missing it somewhere. Okay. Those boys are not the problem to Nigeria. The problem to Nigeria is the parenthood, parenting. Many parents have abandoned their roles as effective parents. If the society in general is made up of units called families, if each family is on their duty post, it's very easy for you to go to bed and meet with a woman and takes in as a call pregnancy, deliver a child. It is more important and more expedient for you to train that child that will not be a threat to the flow of the society. Many of the men and the women, they know how to just procreate and give birth, but they don't know that in the area where I come from, they say what is after 6? It's more than 7. It's an idiom. What's after 6? More than 7. We have 8, 9, and the rest to infinity. What is after giving birth to a child? It's more than giving birth to a child. You have to bring them up in the nurture of the societal standards of your country.
Yes, sir, I agree with you.
But now, once we have seen that as a problem now, what about we go to the source first, talk to the parent first. The one that have caused as havoc to the society is there. We first of all, they should stop bringing more people to the society. After we have educated them, have enlightened them, have changed their perspective or view or value system, they will now go to the problem, mop them up by going to get them rehabilitated, get them education, and probably get them to reformative schools that can make them the model. And government has a role to play, not just like us alone. If they are idle, because they are not engaged, they are very vulnerable to anything. They say an idle hand is the workshop of the devil. By the time you get them engagement, whether formal and informal engagement, their mind will not be centered or fertile for sowing the seed of thuggery into their lives. So it is the advocated approach we are taking. We deal with the parent first, the parent from where they come. Some just give birth and abandon them. They now become whatever. They turn the flesh. But apart from that, we now deal with the people that are themselves are problem in Nigeria, cancel them, talk to them using religious arms, whether Christianity.
So, okay, now, sir, are you saying now that like the talks, the boys on the road that we're talking about now, that people have mapped out a particular division that go out to mob them out to help them?
It's part of that department called peace and conflict.
Okay.
And they are on routine basis.
So, okay, so far, how many have you people recorded so far?
With people now.
The boys outside that we are talking about, because you are talking about parenthood, talking about the parents first, then you go out there to pick them up, to educate them, help them, and bring them up. Okay, I'm asking so far, how many cases, how many of them have you helped? How many of you have you brought out from the street to say, okay, fine, this is where we want you to be?
At least, let me talk about 2018. This year is still fresh.
Yes.
Last year, we did zonal basis. The south, southwest, north, central, and the rest. And it's so, we recorded about 40 to 50 cases of the training program in each of these zones. That means we have 6 zones in Nigeria, and we have done 30 to 40 cases. And they are recorded with our head of department of that unit, and UNDP was our sponsor. They did it and other NGOs, Catholic NGOs. One of them is CARS, UNDP, and which other one? They have been there with us, and we are doing effectively well.
All right, so now what you're trying to say now is, if we have any cases out there that is being like, we have some people out there and parents that come to complain, because sometimes we do have people that call. They call us. They try to like tell us this is what is happening in our homes and all that. So if we have any case, we can report to you to your office.
We have facility for such.
Okay.
Okay,
sir.
You see, I could see an instruction
on my shirt.
The women control your tongue.
Control your tongue.
Not only women. Once your tongue is controlled, as a tongue, and as a husband, as a wife, as a child, the problem of domestic violence will be solved to the level of 70%. Because if you don't talk, you may not likely take action. And when you do everything, you don't talk, it becomes impossible to escalate from that level to the violent level. So my first advice is that people should mind what comes out of their mouth.
Okay.
Tongue's control is in scripture that I believe in. By the time you rule over your tongue, then you have made the peace.
Okay, sir. Sir, how long have you been married?
Why are you interested in my marriage? I will share you the news.
No, it's our routine. It's not something.
Okay. I've been married for the past 31 years.
31 years. So we want to celebrate you on the 26th of June. That's number one. Okay. And I want you to you've been there for 31 years. And I think you've seen the up and down, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you're still standing strong. Okay.
By the grace of God.
Now, I want you to look into the camera and give advice to those people. A lot of people are coming into marriage. Marriages are breaking by the second. People are getting married today and breaking up the next day. Though a lot of people will say, a lot of people are saying, I don't want to get married. Some people are saying, marriage is not for everybody. And all that. A lot of things are happening in marriage. But you've been there for 31 years. I would want to give you a word of advice to those people out there that are trying to get into the institution, and those that are already there that are going through one or two misunderstandings.
Okay. As you are talking, my brain was booting, casting memory back to the last 31 years. First and foremost, I want to say, for you to survive in marriage, whatever your religious inclination, you must believe in God as the author of your family, author of that marriage. When you premise everything on God, and you take time to learn about the duties or your roles as a father, or husband, as a wife, you will strive hard to keep those things with the grace of God helping you. Now, there's nothing like in this world called ID marriage. Nothing. Tell anybody in the world, I'm ready to tell everybody, there's nothing like ID marriage or perfect marriage. What it means that the two of them must learn how to tolerate each other, themselves, how to give allowances. We did that the people born by different parents, they're not coming together to become one. Then, for us to become one, you must give allowances. That person is not like you. You're not like that person. So you must give room and tolerate. If you spend 20 years in courtship, rather, You will not get your spouse well. You will not until you come together in other marriage. That's how you know who you have married. A lot of things that I think of occasion will not allow me to be telling you the nitty-gritties. But once you made up, I'm going to this thing, a journey of no return. You know that when I shut, I won't open again. That one will help you to endure whatever you find inside. I've been there for the past 31 years, glory to God. It doesn't mean that I don't have some hiccups. I don't see things that disappoint me or disappoint her. That's my spouse. But we have made a vow that we want to remain. We always strive to make sure we remain, not to strive to separate. So that binding vision that we have come to stay. Anytime you are feeling uncomfortable, you remember your vow that you have come to stay. You now look for alternative ways of making that peace, not to check out. That will be my helping and the mercy of God.
Okay, so you're going to do something
okay.
for us. And I know this woman you're really talking about, she has been a very strong woman behind you.
Very, very, very strong.
Okay.
Solemn.
So please, what do you call her?
I call her anything I want to call her, depending on my circumstance.
Okay.
The first name I call her is Mommy. Mommy of the house.
Okay. I need you to look into the camera and talk to Mommy. Tell Mommy thank you. All those things that maybe when you look, because she has gone through it. How many kids do you have, sir?
I have 4.
Okay, 4. To have even one is not a joke. Not to say good. The first one, there's no twin, right?
No twin. Single
gone 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not been easy. And I know you men are strong men. You people are just so wonderful men.
More so in uniform.
So wonderful men. So I know you people have made us to go through a lot sometimes, but we still endure.
Yes.
So we have to keep the home.
Kudos to her.
Hi. So now I want you to look at the camera and say something very nice to her.
Okay.
To say thank you for all these years. Because if she did not endure you, she wouldn't have stayed.
I just have to praise her. During my traveling period, she stood by me.
Okay.
You know that she feared God, she had divorced me, but she made up her mind to stay with me in thick and thin. Today, we thank God that we have overcome our wilderness experience. Then, when they were terrible with me, she stood by me. She would not complain. She would endure. She would tolerate. She didn't see me as a poor person and this one has no future. She stayed. They would call her and say, can't you see? This is the person you are staying with. Say, leave me alone. God has told me to stay with this man. But today, we thank God.
So I need you to talk to Mommy and tell Mommy thank you.
Mommy, thank you. I appreciate your effort. I appreciate your tolerance, endurance, and love, care and concern, and that good soup, good food. My wife is a good cook. Okay. She's a good cook. What I eat, I don't eat any other place. I give to her 100%. Tolerant, very quiet, patient. Unlike me, who is not like her, but she allowed me to behave my behavior. Yeah, no cause for alarm. Like some of the senior citizens will say, fellow Nigerians, I'm here today to invite you to the Saturday event. It's going to be very rewarding because by the time you make peace at the home levels, you are making overall peace in the nation. When you come for such a conference or a workout, you learn more. You don't know it all. By the time you share, especially with other people, your mind will be made open. You now assimilate more knowledge in how to keep home, how to make it healthy. I encourage you again, don't fail to come, don't despise it, don't look down on them because there are many things you don't know about. I've been 31 years in marriage and God has been helping me. No divorce, no separation. My children are well brought up. I bless God, 2 doctors, an engineer and a pharmacist. And they're doing well. And then the faith that they chose. So it takes some things to put in. So we'll come and learn those things to put it to make sure you have good outcomes in terms of children and your relationship. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
so much for honoring this interview.
Thank you.
And being a part of us. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much, my wonderful viewers out there. You've heard all we have said about domestic violence. Women, like it is said here, control your tongue. It's not just for the women. It's for the whole family. Just like he gave a narrative about his 2 kids. It's not everything that we have to open our mouths to talk. They say silence sometimes is golden. We'll be having a peace walk on Saturday by 7 a.m. from City Park. Please come out. Let us work together. We can't do it all by ourselves. Your marriages, yes, is breaking. A lot of things are happening. But when you come out and we sit down and we talk about, there are some things you don't know in your marriage that we can sit down and talk about, and we learn from each other. So please keep a date with us on Saturday from City Park, where we'll do our domestic violence peace walk. I want to say a very big thank you to the Deputy Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. I want to say thank you so much for coming on the program. So please keep a date every Thursday on Spice the Marriage Show. My name is Regina Doherty. Bye for now.